All right, so this is our Mailchimp account for this client, um, Pepperoncini, Havertown. Um, this is definitely one of the weekly things you'll be handling. So, just a quick introduction. This is their website. Um, Weekly specials. You can see in here that they update this every week, and but we don't update this. The Terry is the chef who is also the owner's mother, believe it or not, and she goes in and takes pictures and does some things for us every week, gives us the content, and then we slap it together in an email blast. So this is what she updates every week, and we put this into a Mailchimp. So we normally get an email from Terry that looks like this. Michelle is our social media manager. You won't be doing anything with her yet. So the menu is right here, which will open into this. You can see there's all the past menus. So you would click on the upcoming one. There's going to be a new one in here for this week. So click on the newest date. Make sure the date's right. When I'm going through this, I like to check Terry's work and make sure that there are no typos, because sometimes she typos the menu, and really important for us to keep an eye on things like that. So she's normally pretty good, but once in a while you'll see something weird, or it'll be spelled different online, but they like the way it's spelled. So like they spell Bronzino, Branzino, B-R-A-N, should be B-R-O. They like it with the A for some reason because it's like an authentic spelling or something. I don't know. So that does pop up. So just keep in mind if you're looking through and you see anything egregious with the spelling, like jalapeno is spelled with an H. Make sure we get that changed. So here's your menu. And then she drops these photos in for us here. So these are all of the old specials photos, and the new specials photos are right here. Now, sometimes they're not specials, right? So this week they are. It's the baked gnocchi and the pork chop Sammy. And you'll click into it and you'll see, right? And so what you need to do is you need to go through these and pick the best one. And I think I used that one. This is last week's email, and we'll see what they look like in email. And sometimes she's going to send you some stuff that maybe doesn't look great, and you got to touch it up in Photoshop a little bit. Do some color balancing, lighten them up, things like that. I do that once in a while, but most of the time, she's gotten pretty good. I went in with her. We picked the windows she shoots in. She always shoots them around 2 o'clock, which has this really nice lighting. I got her a little closer to the dishes instead of far away. Obviously, some of these are a little too close, but, you'll find some stuff that works. And the tomato basil soup she just threw in here, I didn't really love any of these photos, so it did not make the email. And we have the right to do that, right? Like, they both, and most of our clients will go off of our judgment, and I will fight with them sometimes if I think something looks better than something else, or not necessarily fight, but we'll have a conversation, and a lot of times I'll convince them to see it my way just because we do this a lot more than they do. So that's that. So we dig into the Mailchimp account, and I'm just going to show you last week's campaign, and then it'll kind of show you how to build this week's. You see, we really get some good open rates on these. 50% is like insane. Nobody gets a 50% open rate. So this is a very good email. Customers rely on this every week. And the main reason is this right here. This is the part that's kind of, that I'll be honest, is hard for me to hire, because this is like, I always work in, and I'll show you a couple of these, but I always work in, something relevant. So this was the Eagles. I worked in a little bit, kicked some new specials out of the end zone. You might try the true MVP of this weekend, other than Jalen Hurts, is our cutlet trays. So this isn't something that they would give us, right? This is something that we kind of have to come up with on our own. And and be professionals in this field. So, when you're thinking about what to put in here, obviously, and you could always run it by me, like, hey, can I do a little something with the Eagles? Do they have takeout? Stuff like that. Like, oh yeah, like we have this good picture of the cutlet. You can absolutely put that in there, and then we mention it here and telling them to order through the website. So that's important, and they like that. So everybody reads these, and this portion always has to feature something about the specials, and then I always like to at least list the entrees: grilled veal medallions, baked flounder, and grilled diver scallops. And you'll see them here. So we have these listed. Sometimes I'll mention the appetizer, sometimes I'll do a wine pairing. So I like to mix it up, and you really have the creativity to kind of do what you want with a lot of this, because the only thing they send over is this. This is it. This is all the direction that you have. Become a fan favorite. So she loves her. The mother bakes. So Terry's the one who bakes. So whenever we can find something and give a little nod to her, like, she makes our life so much easier because she just loves it. So, like, she actually texted me after I sent this email out because I called them the Havertown MVPs, and she loved this because the strawberry shortcake has been an absolute hit this winter, right? So for the rest of these, you'll see, like, catering, family style takeout. There's a bunch of these on the actually, I think I can show them to you here in my files. Yeah. So this is all the old stuff. You'll see there's a bunch of these in here, right? There's family style takeout. There's online gift cards. There's butter cake, that's old. I'll do these wine pairings sometimes. There's Thursday night social. There's the Wine Down Wednesdays. We're still doing both of those. There's catering. Sometimes I'll switch. Not sometimes, but every week I'll switch out what these are in those boxes. So let's just look at another one. January 6th. So, Happy New Year. We're so excited, and we have some big announcements coming soon. If you're feeling extra hungry, give the seafood sliders a try. So, again, all of the entrees were mentioned. I like to bold things that are important. It takes people's eyes to those. And then I mentioned appetizer in here. The strawberry shortcake again. You can see here's where I mixed in the Wine Down Wednesdays. Here's where I did the catering. For these, I always go and I find a new 5-star review. You should probably look back because I've used a ton of these. It's okay to use some over again. Like, it's not a big deal. People don't pay attention to who the name is every week. But you just got to update in here, Charles, where they came from. If it's Yelp, you would put Yelp here and whatever. And then what I do is I just go to, like, we could just do this real quick. So if we just go to their Yelp page, I might just sort by newest first. Never, ever, ever post anything but a 5-star. Even if it's a good 4-star, always 5-star. So, Kathleen, I don't think I've posted this. This is great, though. Great food, wonderful service, staff went above and beyond it, and their good friend who was just coming out of chemo. Oh, wait. The staff went above and beyond for a couple who came for takeout for them and their good friend. They accidentally ordered from a different restaurant. I think it was when the staff realized the confusion, arranged for the other restaurant to deliver the food from Conshohocken to the couple's home. There are often amazing specials. So this one, like, okay, so for this one, well, normally what I do is I'll, like, take a screenshot, right? I'll take a screenshot of this, and then I will, just like this. Now, if it's this one, I would actually probably speak to this in this section here. So instead of short and sweet, I'd probably change this to, like, something like, Kathleen, thank you so much for the great review. We try our best to be great members of the community, and in a situation like this, we feel like we're just doing our part, right? That would be like a great thing to say to that. And you just pop that in there, and then, you know, you can kind of leave the rest if you want. So for Yelp, you can just kind of take the screenshot, but for Google, well, I guess I don't have to do that. For Google, sometimes not sometimes, but when I take these Google reviews and they have these little dots or whatever, what I'll do is I'll take this and I'll just drag it into Photoshop quick, and you know, just get rid of anything that makes it look stupid, right? Like this. Maybe I'll bring that up a little bit. Oh, and you know what? I should have clicked the more so it showed the whole thing, so that was stupid. I would actually, if I was doing this for real, I would go back and redo it because I want to show the whole thing. Now, if like, you know, if there's something, if maybe it's an old review you want to feature, and you know, it's probably not good to show like this is 100 days ago. So in that situation, I would just go like this, bloop, right, and maybe like this, bloop. Just get rid of it. 5 stars doesn't, you know, I mean, it's just a perception thing. So, and then I would just either screenshot this or save it and pop it in there. So, follow us on Instagram. Sometimes I change these photos out. Sometimes I don't. That's not something that needs to happen with us every week. Have you dined with us before? This is something you can leave here. Leave us a review. You can also always swap in and out. Like, there's like, are you looking for work? Like, you know, we're hiring. Like, you can always put that in there. All these restaurants are always hiring all the time. And there's already an image in there. One thing I will show you is that I have, and I will these might actually even be uploaded. Let me just take a look. So this is their profile I had mentioned to you. So let me see. Graphics and logos. Special graphics for a shore project. Are they in here? Oh yeah, here they are. Okay, so I have these in here, but what I'll do is I'll upload the PSD for you as well. So if you want to go in and like, it's just one PSD, and it has like all these as different layers. If you want to go in and make a new one, say I'm like, oh, we're doing something new on Friday nights, or there's going to be live music or something like this. One thing that I really like, not that I like, it's kind of something I demand, is that I want continuity, right? So when these people get these email blasts every week, I always want them to kind of look the same. And so much so that, like, even with these flyers like this, like this butter cake one, I wouldn't put that on a line next to the online gift cards because it's just a different style. Now, I will tell you that we do have branding guides for our clients, so I want you to make sure that you're using the right fonts, right? So this, other than the word cranberry, buttercake takeout, and this text on the bottom is the same font as this. And you can see this is the same for Thanksgiving. The wine pairing is the same font. Now, this one is a little bit different, and I don't really love that. But it's kind of what we went with when we first started, and now I've flipped it into these, right? So just to make everything, and the owner likes that too, but I just want to make sure the branding stays consistent, and that's with all clients. That's why we have these branding guides. I don't know if we actually have a branding guide for this client because it's such a little restaurant. Oh, we do. Here it is. So, you know, here's here's your branding guide. It gives you the logo types. It gives you the colors. It gives you exactly what the hex, so you can copy and paste this directly into Photoshop, and it'll tell you what to use. Here's the pepper, you know, and here's your fonts. So Gotham, Gotham Bold, Fragile. So that's that. So that is the in that flyer. This is actually an approved font, is the Fragile. So, you know, if you're looking to make anything in Photoshop, we have every different. Even if you want the pepper icon, you know, RGB is obviously for web, CMYK is for print, but there it is. There's your pepper. So if you wanted to put that in on something at some point, so. We'll look at a couple more campaigns, and then I think we'll call it. I think you'll be pretty good. Just going to randomly click here. Okay, so now this is... Right, so this is important. So, look, this is an example of a really big email campaign, right? Like, there's a ton of stuff in this one, but it's the holidays, and there's a ton of stuff going on. So this obviously is a much more time-intensive couple paragraphs to write, but it's important. And so we'll go from the bottom up. So this part about the gift card, I didn't change this. I wrote this once, and I didn't change this for like 6 weeks because we were just constantly trying to sell these gift cards, so I just kept leaving it in there, and what I would do is I would just change this line every week. There's still time to get a bonus gift card. Like, bonus gift cards are a great gift for the holidays. Like, don't miss a great opportunity. Like, those kind of persuasive writing lines I would put there. The dinner specials every week have to be in there, so you can see I have them there. And then the holidays, you know, I always give people a quick update on what's actually going on. So Christmas Eve will be open for dinner. You know, make a reservation here. If you're headed out to a party, suggest catering. Always be selling. Like, always sell something. But you want to kind of back into it. So the holidays were a perfect time. You could back into some of this. It's become a catering menu. And then Christmas Day will be closed to spend time with our family and loved ones. You know, perfect. Live music in the bar tonight. This is just something they have. I wanted to put that at the top and just get it noted. And you can see this was the cranberry takeout. And one thing you got to make sure you do every single week is check your links. Check your links, check your links, check your links. Any email blast that you ever send out, you pop it up in preview mode and just click every link in it and then go through them and make sure. It takes an extra 5 minutes, but like you can avoid some huge disasters. So once you have this email completed, send it over for a test. And so the emails are already in there. You can send it. It goes to me, Terry, and Tommy, and they'll respond with anything, and I'll respond as well. So, you know, you got your review in there. Families Takeout Catering, the photos. Yep. We'll look at one more maybe that's a little earlier. October 20th. So, this one. Look, I actually made a mistake there. Look, that should have been bolded. See, so this was like the older style where I had these in there. See how they don't look that great? And it's because they have these white boxes you can't even see on the side. Now you can see them. So I don't use them anymore, and I've kind of updated all to this consistent type of look. Pushing the family style takeout, and this is, I went into the sea bass a little bit. Chef Tommy, I always pick out some things that like I think are different, you know, because that's what people are going to think about, or that's what they're gonna like. They're gonna pick out the stuff. So at some point in October here, I remember we were pushing the. Tommy's like, I want to go after the foodies. So he did this pumpkin ravioli. I don't even know where the hell it is. It was in here somewhere. And you could tell I was a little busy because, look, these are not highlighted. They're small. They're, you know, not as good as they should be. When I have time, they get better, hopefully. Yours will be better than mine. Same thing here. Specials. Yeah, like that's really it. Host your next private event. This was an old one. I went to the squares now. You can see in this. Like, it didn't... there was just no continuity with it, so I kind of scrapped these a little bit. And I didn't think I needed to make a new one for Red Sauce Sunday. I don't know if I have one of those in those other squares, but maybe that's something you can do with the template I sent over. Get them creative juices flowing a little bit. This obviously doesn't change. So I guess the last thing we should talk about is subject lines. So... let me see. So here's your subject line. A sandwich with a pork chop roll. You know, that was for that pork Sammy thing that he had out. So I just want to get people to open these, right? So the subject lines are sometimes a little weird, but they kind of need to be. Lamb shanks and lobster tails. Have you tried a cheesesteak dumpling? Question mark. And then I always do the preview text too. Ribeye, flounder, pork chop, butterfish special. No, a lot of times I'll just put the special down there, but you know, I saw the cheesesteak dumplings, Philly, all that, and I'm like, that could work. Especially since the Eagles are rolling. December 16th, it's probably some holidays. Christmas Eve takeout menu announced. You know, anytime you announce anything, that's something that people click on. They're like, oh, something new. Big news, new wine list. So, curated by Chef Tommy over the last few months. This one, yeah, like this one I got into the wine. I did a little picture of the wine. And I think the next week, and you could do this if you want to. The next week, when was that? November? I actually started doing, wine pairings. So, keep in mind, though, like, they're not necessarily going to give you this. Like, he's not going to email you. He's not going to pick up the phone. So, you got to figure out, like I figure these out myself. So, I pick a wine off of his wine menu, which is on their website. And Old World wine. So, I'll pick this, wine, say, and then I'll Google, or I'll just take this whole thing, and then I'll Google, like, food pairings. And then, wine, lemon, so spaghetti top with Bottega, a bowl of brothy clams and frigola. Okay, so it's something seafood pesto. Okay, so for that week, right? If this was this week, maybe instead of, oh look, right there. It's funny. It's already in here, but it's not the same wine. Grilled pork tenderloin. I don't think I would do grilled though. I'd probably do something that's more like maybe the Chilean sea bass, something that's a little lighter. Definitely a fish. And I would just, you know, you can find out stuff about the wines by Googling it. You can pop it in there, pair it with something, and then view our wine menu. And then this I have is a PSD as well. So you can just switch out that photo, switch out that text, and pop it right in there. So I don't want to, like, handcuff your creativity, but I do want everything to, like, follow this kind of template that we have laid out. I want everything to be, I want there to be continuity. And you can see, like, this is a good looking email, even though stuff like this annoys me, where it's this on this side and this on the other side. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. So, and you know, if you have ideas for adding sections or like a little event ideas they could do, anything like that, like, pass it by me for sure. And if you think it's something that they're already doing and you just want to pop it in their email blast, like, go for it, right? Like, the stuff about the Eagles catering trays and all that, like, I came up with that. He just said, like, let's do something for the Eagles. So I was the one who did the whole Eagles thing. So we need to drill that for the next 2 weeks because we got Super Bowl coming up now. So he needs orders coming in for Super Bowl. So we have to hammer that these next 2 weeks. All right. I think that's it. If you got any other questions, let me know. There's one other I'm going to send to you. So, cheers.